Well, happy May Day to all workers in Ghana, including myself, the rest of the team here, and the sweet lady, Mama Vio Swabwaji.
Are you suffering from, like, you want people to wish you?
Yeah, you know, sometimes
Happy May Day.
you need
So
some
you want to wish yourself
self-aggrandizement.
Ah, okay, you. Whatever. I hope you're satisfied.
Yeah, I'm okay. Right. How are you?
I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I went back to YouTube to go and watch the review.
Yeah.
And I remember you said,
what did I say?
Whatever your situation, you should be thankful.
Yes.
Because there are people who are sick.
Absolutely.
Because the way you started, yeah, I said, this lady is sliding into hibernation.
I'm good.
Good. That's what we need.
Good. By God's grace. And we're grateful to God that today you can watch the entire show because you don't have to beat any traffic. You're home. Good for you. It's a holiday. It's a May Day.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
And I want to say good morning to a very good friend of mine, Dr. Sana. He owns a chain of pharmaceutical and hospitals in the northern part of the country doing good work. Dr. Sana, good morning to you, as well as a pharmacist, Salifu Combat. You're in Boku. Good morning to you as well.
Okay.
Yeah. As well as Abdulaziz Mohammed. He is a member of parliament from Myong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that you should be paying for the dedications that you've been
Daniel Ochema Boachi, member of parliament from Bantama. Since I'll be paying.
That's it.
I'll be paying.
Don't even go there because you can't finish the list. I'm surprised you're beginning, like you started something. But good morning to you if you've just tuned in. Let's do the newspapers now. Let's do the review. We don't have a lot of newspapers. We will go online to do the online review as well. You are encouraged to send us messages. Send us May Day messages. Just keep it very brief. Yeah. Send us messages via WhatsApp and also via regular text. We've got a special guest passing through the show this morning. She's an orphan, blind at age 13. But guess what? She would go on to senior high school through to the university. Wow. She graduated and she's now a teacher. Blind, completely blind. But guess what? She's got other businesses on the side. She's into many other things, taking orders for catering services and things like that. And I thought, listen, May Day, we're all at home. Yeah. All we need sometimes is just a little piece of inspiration. And Grace is our friend who passed through the show. She's an amazing person. You love her story and it will boost you up. She's also got a strong message to include persons with disability in national development. So we'll have a great conversation with Grace later on in the show this morning.
You have some messages?
I'll have some messages, but
very
let's do the newspapers.
Well, as she prepares for the messages, the DCE for Gonja West
Roland
District.
How much have you been paid?
Honorable Muhazu, good morning to you. As well as Honorable Ken Esuman, you're the MCE for Infantiman. Good morning to you. Good work you're all doing for Mother Ghana. It's May Day. I haven't been paid anything. It's May Day.
Ah, okay.
So this is your request. Okay,
let's read some of your messages because you're sending us messages. Abdullah Abdul Razak General says the only way to do great work is to love what you do. Happy May Day to all workers, especially to the staff of Young MA Primary School in Savulugo. It's coming from Abdullah Abdul Razak General Lamashegu in Tamale. This one says, Happy May Day to all JoyNews crew and Ghanaian workers. Is Mensa Eric Oklu in Akachi, remembering all of us here at JoyNews on this day. We thank you and Happy May Day to you as well. This one says, oh, you're asking me to show the above picture. It will take a bit of time because we have to download, but we will work on it. Joseph Odro Mafo, inside Besro Kumewu, says Mr. John Peter Mewu. Okay, no, I can't read this message that you are sending. The message has to be relevant to whatever we're discussing or whatever is making headlines in our news, but please, no insults, keep it straight to the point. There are certain things that you can take out of your message and it will be good to go. So please do that. This one says, I want to use your platform to address our situation. Please tell the MPP government we nurses don't need to be employed under the Nation Builders Corps because they first promised us permanent jobs, not on contract basis. We need our financial clearance. Well, the Nations Builders Corps, as we understand it, is supposed to be a stopgap measure. So it's not taking away a potential permanent employment that, you know, you may get sometime. But this is definitely a conversation that we need to have. The Nations Builders Corps, we know that the president is due to launch at 9 a.m. today in Kumasi. And afterwards, we're all clear to go to have detailed conversation on it. So we'll bring you a conversation on the show. This one says, oh, it's a delight to watch and listen to us. Derek in Aflao. Thank you very much, Derek. You make it possible because you're watching, that's why we're here. So thank you, Derek. This one says, Happy May Day to all workers of Ghana, especially the principal and staff of the Rich School. And Denyame Kumase is from AB Nanayao Lucas. Two more, and then we will go to the newspapers. I've got the Daily Graphic newspaper already. I think we've got like 3 papers out today. Yeah. Okay, this week, I bring God's protection over your life. Okay, this is... you know, one of them messages. Thank you very much for sending.
Dear Pastor.
This one says,
the one you sent to 100 people.
This one says, Happy May Day to everyone, especially the crew. More grace to your elbows. From Mr. Nash Obofor sending us this message. We thank you. Please keep sending those messages. You can also send us regular text messages like somebody has just done. Somebody's asking, where did you braid your hair? I want my wife to look same. Papaya in Takwa. Hang on, I will tell you exactly where I did it. Not too far from where I work. And the lady's an amazing person. She will be happy to do your wife's hair for her. But let's do the newspapers. The Daily Graphic newspaper or the Daily Guide? Let's start with the Daily Guide.
Okay, so we do Daily Guide first. Usually doesn't happen. Holidays are good. It's a flexible time.
Oh, how?
Robbers kill cop over 900,000 Ghana cedis, and this is sad. We have it on the graphic, so Mavi will take a look at it. But let's look at it. MPP sets ground rules, and that's the paper we'll be looking. That's the story we'll be looking at. It says the national hierarchy of the New Patriotic Party has asked all prospective candidates vying for national executive positions in the National Delegate Conference, which is scheduled for Koforidua in the Eastern Region from June 15 to 17, 2018, to respect the rules of engagement. And which are the rules of engagement? According to the Acting General Secretary of the party, supporters of the various aspirants are to remember that the elections are internal and that there is the strong need for them to also observe the same rules in order to maintain the unity within the party after the electoral exercise. Because usually we know this is what happens after the elections. A lot of people will be complaining and they will be calling the media. And you know the media to work curious. Once you avail yourself, we'll also avail ourselves to you. So the party is cautioning that, well, as far as they are concerned, a national elections committee comprising the Reverend Professor Samuel Asante-Entry is the chair. Hackman Owusu-Agyeman, Agnes Okujeto, former national third vice chair of the MPP, Mrs. Ursula Owusu-Ekufo, MP for Ablekuma West and the Minister of Communications, and Evans Dimako, Acting Director of Research and Elections. They've been put in place to oversee the conduct of the elections, announcing the timetable for the elections. Mr. John Bwedu said that nominations for all the national positions will be open from May 3 to 10, 2018, and vetting will be taking place from Thursday, May 17 to 24, with the vetting report expected to be released, that is after the final completion, by May 28. According to him, all prospective candidates are expected to fill the application forms accurately and submit them to the National Elections Committee not later than Thursday, May 15. And he's been quoted here. Any applicant who is dissatisfied with the vetting processes may appeal to the National Council of Elders within 3 days for immediate redress, and the decision of the National Council of Elders shall be final. Don't report to the media. Report to the National Council so that you get redress, according to the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party. He also stressed that any applicant who will refuse to use all the internal party mechanisms to address any disputes as prescribed by Article 46 of the party's constitution and go to court to seek redress would automatically be barred from taking part in the impending election. You have any problem, don't go to court straight away. Seek redress within the party structures, and then thereafter you can seek redress outside the party structures.
You think that the people don't know this?
Well, we know they know. According to the General Secretary, candidates aspiring to be national chairpersons will pay a non-refundable application fee of 10,000 Ghana cedis. That's for chair. 8,000 Ghana cedi for the various vice chair positions. General Secretary will pay 6,000, that is if you are vying. National organizer and national treasurer, 5,000 Ghana cedis. While youth organizer, women's organizer, national coordinator, they'll pay just a fee of 3,000 Ghana cedis. John Bodo indicated that all application forms will have to be purchased at the national headquarters of the party at a Salam Dam in Accra, strictly within the working hours, and that all aspirants are supposed to procure the application forms by themselves. So if you live in Tatali, make sure that you come to Accra and come and buy. You have a lot more news, all of it. I could go on with it. I think it's great education for myself too. So we all need it. So
for a position or something?
no necessarily, just for us all to get acquainted. Because they'll come to the media when they have problems. So we tell them that, Charlie, they told you do and do the. Why is it that
really?
You're not doing that? Yeah.
Like you're not waiting for any of them to come up right now. Like you would ask them. Of course. Let's do the daily.
Bad news sales. Good news also sells.
It's their party and they have their rules.
Yeah, true.
They would know their rules better. But if they will not abide to it and they will run to the media, we've got open arms. We'll receive them and hear their stories. That's why we're here.
Our young friend is also here, Wiser. Convicted for displaying manhood. He told the court that he decided
it wasn't his.
That R2.
No, December to remember.
Okay. That was D2R.
Yeah.
Concert. He decided to strap around his waist a fake manhood. a dadu, or how do you call it? Dildo. Okay. And apparently the judge said when they watched the video, it looks like he forgot to add that apart from the dildo or the fake manhood, the artificial manhood, there were pubic hairs around. So he forgot to add that. I mean, I also added pubic hair, fake pubic hair. Yeah. So he said he deliberately decided to lie or do what he had to do with his own God-given penis. That's what's stated here. And then also, because he's a role model for young people, because he's a musician, he has to be punished as a deterrent. Yeah. So he's supposed to pay 8,400.
But we don't know, was he able, because we were told
the lawyer said
that he couldn't meet the bail condition.
Well, according to the story, the lawyer said they had only 5,000 with them, and that they should be giving, is it a month or a week or so to pay up.
Okay, because failure to settle
and I know yesterday there was
go to jail.
There was a gentleman who's a journalist. He also works for the Daily Guide News One Poller. Used to, now he's with Xylophone, Halifax. Okay. Yeah. Says that he's volunteering.
Halifax is with Xylophone?
Yeah, I think he works with Xylophone. Says he's volunteering 10,000, or I don't know whether that's true. I saw it on social media. So social media can be maybe. Well, they say it's true.
Is it?
Yeah.
We can call Halifax. Okay. So somebody came
he's
to
a PR for Xylophone
rescue.
Yeah. And so our internal information minister Joel.
Okay.
Says that he has all the info in town. All right. So basically, that's what it is. Mama will tell you about the cop or the policeman who was killed. Now let's go to the center spread of the news. Is a news one pullout of the Daily Guide. There's one person here called Benedict Agafa. Apparently, she is an actress, and it's headlined, "Don't compare me to Moesha Bodon," and that's Benedict Agafa, actress. Have you watched her movie before?
Who's that?
Benedict Agafa. Gaffa.
As you mention the name, unless I see a picture. Which one is that? Honestly, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Some of you people, we have to punish you. You are destroying entertainment.
How am I destroying entertainment?
You have to patronize the goods and services.
I know quite a number of our actors and actresses. You're mentioning a name. And to be honest with you, I think that sometimes we may not know the names of the people, but we've seen them on TV. I've seen them in one movie or the, and that's the honest truth.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, unless you want me to lie and say, oh yeah, I watch her, which would be a total lie.
You have to please the audience. Anyway, I'm not saying you should lie.
My audience love me like this. I know it.
I know.
That's why somebody is giving it to me. Somebody says I should stop defending the nation's builder score. That's not the intention.
Please, we're not defending it. So we're only telling you what the news is. I don't think we're defending it. We're only telling you what the news is.
Listen, we'll have the coordinator of the nation's builder score, God willing, tomorrow morning right here.
Right here.
And then you can direct all the anger at him. I beg, not me.
We better go. Okay, so this story about the Avengers Infinity War, it received poor reviews, you know.
Okay.
But those who critique the movie said it was the poorest of all the Avengers, but it's breaking the records at the box office.
Yeah.
And
at least over the weekend.
Yeah. It's made history by earning an estimated even this one, at least over the weekend.
Yeah, just the weekend.
Just the weekend. It means that this one will go massive. Just the weekend, $630 million US.
Yeah.
If Ghana was approving this loan in Parliament.
Oh, Roland.
It's a serious 600. Only one movie, one movie. Only weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One movie got $630 million US. If Ghana Parliament was approving this loan for 1 month, NDC will insult MPP. MPP will insult NDC.
No.
I've withdrawn my statement.
That's not what they do in Parliament. They do not insult because somebody has
not on the floor.
Wait.
Come to the media.
Roland, stop sending, your
prejudice mindset.
Maybe I should keep quiet so that they'll hold you before the privileges committee.
It's true. It's true.
That's it.
Please, I have retracted. I didn't say that. I apologize to members of Parliament, the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. When you are approving $630 million US, it will be smooth.
I guess this is what you're trying to say.
Okay. So it says that's way ahead of the previous franchises, and apparently the first one. The Fate of the Furious, that's the last year one, had 542. We've had the other ones, the one that the black people starred in.
Wakanda.
We've
turned the title of the movie to Wakanda.
Wakanda, Black Panther. Also is here. We have Deadpool, Avengers, and the rest. All of them for children. The children love them.
Adults love them.
These white people, they are bad. When they are targeting, they target everybody. They target the children who tag the parents. Let me go and watch the movie.
But I'm an action person. I don't like soaps.
You see,
soaps not my thing.
That is why you are not romantic. These days you are trying. That's why you are not romantic.
Well, when you watch soaps,
you don't like
Telemundo.
That's why you are not romantic.
I think enough, Roland. Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page of the Daily Graphic this day. Whatever.
But they are worse.
Maybe I should start kicking you. Then you know I'm an action person.
Because first time we've been on this. First time my mother gave me kick was this January. That's why you're not romantic.
The Daily Graphic newspaper front page. Start giving and then you'll be receiving. Front page of the Graphic. This story, which was in our news, Clocksack gives ultimatum to ministers on status of special assistance, and it's killing them. For them to organize a press briefing, then you know that this has really eaten well into what they do, and it's affecting them greatly. That story is on page 16. We're going to re-echo what they're saying in the bid. 2021 MMDC's election plan out, and yesterday the Rural Development Minister, Local Government Rural Development Minister Haji Ali Mahama, gave a certain outline of what's going to happen with regards to the elections of the MMDCs. The back and forth with the PPP, coming strongly and saying that you put one thing in your manifesto, you say another thing, and now you're saying another thing. We thought the elections of the MMDCs was going to be 2018, 2019, but now you're saying 2021. So I don't know, are you convinced by what the minister said yesterday? That story is on page 16 in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Do we even care about the elections of MMDCs? Do we care about that they should be elected, whichever way. But also on the front page, this banner headline story: robbers kill cop, bolts with 900,000 Ghana cedis from gold refinery. So Lance Corporal Nicholas Duku, unfortunately, the police officer who died is on the front page. A picture of him is on the front page of the paper. Story by our friend Doche Kobla Akloba in Second D says a policeman was killed last Sunday afternoon in a brutal armed robbery attack as 4 gunmen allegedly stormed a gold refinery at Bogoso in the Prisia-Honi Valley districts in the western region and made away with 900,000 Ghana cedis. Identified as Lance Corporal Nicholas Duku, the policeman who was on official assignment at the Platte and Plume Gold Refinery Company, arrived on the premises of the company with a manager and a driver of the company at the time of the robbery. The manager, an Indian whose name is yet to be released by the police, was carrying an unspecified amount of money on him. So Moses recounts the robbery, the escape, and the unfortunate death of this Lance Corporal. In the newspaper, it's on page 3. The full story is there. You can check it out. But on page 16, we'll spend a bit of time on page 16. We've got 2 stories that we will review. One is Clocksac's cry. Clocksac is the Civil and Local Government Staff Association Ghana, and they've given a 2-week ultimatum to ministers to come clear on the responsibilities of their special assistants, since those special assistants appear to have taken over the roles of civil servants. According to Clocksac, many civil servants had been sidelined while special assistants had taken over their responsibilities, leaving the civil servants in a situation where they were unable to function properly after a change of government or after any ministerial shuffle. So delivering the 2018 Clocksac Mayday message in Accra yesterday, Executive Secretary of Clocksac, Isaac Bampoado, expressed worry over the excessive use of political power to obstruct lay-down procedures and processes in appointments and administrative matters, a development he believed could mar the existing cordial relations between the government and the association. And this is rare. And that's why I say that for them to come out the manner that they did, then this must really be affecting them. Now, we know that almost every it's not even almost, every ministry has got special assistants. Ministers have got special assistants. In some cases, deputy ministers have got special assistants, and so on and so forth. And I think... And
depending on the ministry, some have 2, 3, depending on various...
Yeah. Sometimes they are spokesperson, they are advisors, and some of these persons are not from the civil service. And there are people within the civil service whose role some of these people have come to take up. And it would definitely be an inconvenience. It would definitely make you look redundant. In some cases, it will make you look stupid. Like, what are you doing? Because you're sitting there. This is supposed to be something that you're doing, but you have no control over it. In fact, you don't even know what is happening. I can understand. Yeah. I hope that this will not end here. And this is tricky because the ministers will think that we're being directly attacked. There's a particular ministry mentioned, which is the finance ministry. And I'm thinking that it's only the presidency that can settle this.
Yes. And then also we have to make sure as media, we say the issues and discuss them as they are so that we don't tend to politicize them. Because in the Fourth Republic, we've had all these things happening, but we've not had the association come out forcefully like they have. It means that they may have been choking.
They are.
They are choking from these experiences they've had from January, they say.
Yeah.
And particularly mention that when you get to the finance ministry, they have 30, at least from their last count, they have 30.
Special assistants?
Yeah, in that ministry. And then people who have been appointed. Even to the point
so are we paying double? Because if we've got people within the civil service whose jobs other people have come to take over, and civil servants, you can't just sack them. They are there and they are going to be paid.
Special assistants, they take more than these officers.
So we're paying these people for doing nothing.
Because they are part of that the presidency, that kind of Article 70, so
this is not right, Smith.
And there was an insight that we played. I thought that was worrying, that for internal audits, positions. They
brought people from outside.
We do understand that we want to ensure that people work diligently and all that. But I think that, I don't know, I think as a country it's not right.
I think that what we have to
do... If people want to be civil servants, they have to be civil servants.
I think what we have to do, maybe this should help us talk about the effectiveness or otherwise of our civil service. Because I'm thinking that the reason somebody would bring... No. I mean, you have to look at all the sides. The reason somebody may want to bring on board other people is because to that person or to that particular ministry, all these other people are not performing. But if they are not, and we've got such a rigid procedure in getting them off, and that may not be helping, then we have to think about the broader issue of the civil service, you know, the broader picture. Let's look at it. I mean, is it working? Is it not working? What are the challenges? But mind you, Roland, it's only the executive secretary or, you know, as a group in terms of clock sack that can come out, not the individuals. Because I bet you they will be targeted.
Already we're sure that because
they'll be targeted.
With the specific ministries in mind.
So it's good it's in the name of CLOSAC. I think that's the best that we can get. Individuals cannot come and tell you how they are suffocating or how they are being made redundant, how other assistants are taking over their jobs. They can never tell you that. It's only the bigger association that can. And that's why I feel we should take this with all the seriousness and see how, and it would be us hammering on it and trying to push to get some answers. It's not in the interest of any minister to do that on their behalf. It's us
and we have to make sure that when we are doing the discussions, we do it in such a way that we know that eventually it's going to benefit not only the civil service but the country as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we can't be having governance in such a way that we have conflicting issues and then we have decisions taken arbitrarily, sometimes not in consonance with laid down regulations. I think that's a great worry.
Yeah, it is. And we're not leaving this here. Today is a holiday, so y'all watching at home, please think about it. Think about it,
tomorrow,
because in the coming days we will be discussing this issue heavily. This issue about CLOSAC and special assistants taking over their jobs as civil servants. That's definitely worrying, because we know that for people like that, if you're in the civil service, you're not going with any political party. Everybody comes and they meet you. They will go and you will still be there.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to make it really strong. Yeah. But mind you, there are also people who are public servants who also meddle in politics. See, if you do that and somebody comes, how can they clearly work with you?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Sure. So as we're discussing it, we'll discuss it in all the angles. Sometimes when you interfere in politics as a civil servant, this is what happens. Somebody comes and they can't work with you, and because they can't sack you straight away, you know, because it's such a process they have to go through.
You have to find
they keep you there and they put somebody over your head, and then you become useless. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see, back page of the Daily Graphic real quick. I think I spent enough time with this paper. Back page, Ghana to pilot new indoor residual spraying insecticide. And then Chief Justice inaugurates solar power for Winneba District's High Courts. Oh, there was a story somewhere that I thought, in the center spread, I thought we could highlight a bit. Give exposure to women's strides. Female journalist charged at ASWIM relaunch. So apparently there's a female wing of the Ghana Journalists Association. It's been very quiet. This was back, I think, in 1981 or 82, thereabouts, but it's been very, very quiet. I mean, it's been revamped. Yesterday was relaunched. That's what the story is about. And that's where we had a Justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Cecilia Soa, who encourage the Association of Women in the Media. That's the full name, the ASWIM, the Association of Women in the Media. It's an umbrella group of female journalists, and it was relaunched with a call by the Justice of the Court of Appeal, Justice Cecilia Soa, on members to provide greater visibility for women's contribution to societal development. So that story is in the paper. Justice Cecilia Soa, there's a picture of her delivering an address at the relaunch. It's here in the center spread of the paper, so it'll be good for you to take a look at. That's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. We'll do the last newspaper, which is the Ghanaian Times.
Yeah, so we have the story of the policeman who was gunned down And then the robbers, they made away with 900,000, almost a million Ghana cedis. 3 die in Gore accident at Teacher Mante. Joint fight against tramadol abuse. GCUC ranked best private university in Ghana. And we have other stories. The back page, workshop for AGOA beneficiaries underway in Accra, and FDA to use mobile app to check illegal drugs. FDA. The Food and Drugs Authority is to introduce a mobile application to help clamp down on unregistered pharmaceutical drugs on the Ghanaian market. I'm sure they say you can download the app, etc. Already we have apps that use QR codes and other barcodes to work. So you get to know whether it's authentic or not, where it's registered.
I think it's just a little bit of the inconvenience. Like I was watching an interview on News Desk, was it last week, about fabric. To check the authenticity of the fabric, they've got a code on it. So you scratch it and then you send it to, I think, the directions. And I was like, listen,
it's so cumbersome.
Reality. You're buying a fabric. I mean, you have time to stand there and after you've paid for it, scratch and send to see whether it's authentic or not. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, we should just have authentic outlets so that I know that for sure, for shizzle, once I walk into the shop, I'm buying an authentic fabric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you remember that for even drugs, there was there is still a short code that you can send, but how many of us do it? That you buy Coatem or any of the drugs and you send the short code to figure out if it's authentic or not. I don't know. But I'm sure that we have to begin from somewhere.
Yes, we have to.
Yeah, we have to. But we need those tax force. They form lots of forces to fight some of these things. And we need good people at the entry points. We need selfless people, people to check. People that we can trust. Yeah. Because when it comes in, there's very little that you can do.
The market is big.
Let's do some messages. People will put you into trouble, Roland, because somebody says, Roland, that's the truth you're saying. That's the truth you're saying. If Ghana Parliament wants to approve this money, you hear that Parliament has exchanged blows because of... No, but Parliament does not exchange blows. Let's see. Let me read the full message. Okay. Blows because of approving. I get what you mean. I'm not sure you mean in the sense of, the exchange blows. But yeah. But please, I don't want him to be held before the Privileges Committee. So let's stick to what they do and what they do not do. This one says, Happy May Day to all government workers and also to my dad, Mr. Prince Asari, and his wife inside Ajenam from base, Londoner inside Cove City. Charlie, you're giving me terms, man. You're giving me terms.
Inside Cove Town.
Yeah.
Inside this.
This one says, let me use this Workers' Day to appeal to the President of the Republic to reinstate the Upper West Regional Minister. Okay. We forgot about him, right?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't all the gentleman, the riots there?
Okay. Yeah, step aside and...
But we have an acting, because I just read the news and
we do have an acting, yes. We've always had an acting. This one from Patrick Iswa Kaku says, good morning. Nursing in Ghana has now become irrelevant under Nana Akufo-Addo, and he will face fire and fury. Okay. All right, thank you for your message. I'm not sure why you say that. You may want to follow up with another message. This one says, Happy May Day to all workers, especially my, under teachers at Achiase Islamic Basic School. It's from John Edrich Amable sending us this message. And all these messages on regular text message. That's where I'm reading this from. This is from Augustine Adigbli. Says, May Day teachers in the house and Teachers Day, they are in school. Ghana. Okay, this one says, we work hard to contribute our quota to our dear country. Today is the day we celebrate our effort and labor. I take this opportunity to say, hey, Charlie, this one I can't. Musa Imara, I don't know if it's Hausa, but I don't want to massacre it. So to all hardworking citizens, especially the multimedia group. So why don't you give me a voice note of how you pronounce this, and then I can do it. Yeah, so Musa, I'm expecting a voice note of how you say happy holiday or happy May Day in your language, it will be good. So please send me. Let's do myjoyonline.com, Roland.
So we have a couple of stories. The Ghana reference rate for May pegged at 16.74%. That's the base rate. It's now a reference rate rather than a minimum lending rate for all banks, as was the case with the previous model. Yeah, let's go ahead. It still doesn't reflect other banks when you want to go and borrow. So next. New chief of Accra Fulani community urges calm between farmers and herdsmen, and that's Alhaji Ahmadu Abdul Rahman, urging Fulani herdsmen to coexist peacefully with farmers and other people in the country. Bank of Ghana urged to publicize minutes of his meetings to enhance transparency. Why? Why would he? Why minutes of his meetings? Why?
You probably might want to read the details later on to understand.
I mean, it's all in a bit to make sure. I don't know, but I think minutes of meetings are sometimes to the entity. It's a corporate entity, even though it's a public agency. Economics of providing natural gas infrastructure in Africa: obstacles and opportunities. It's a good read. I was going through it early this morning. It was a good read. So we have Marriott Hotels debut in West Africa with Accra opening, and the Marriott Hotel, part of Marriott International, Monday announces debut in West Africa with the highly anticipated opening of the Accra Marriott Hotel.
You know, when you drive, and I recently drove around, I'm sure airports, Airport City.
Oh, I think I've seen it.
And I saw a lot of international hotels, and I was like, hey, so how is patronage, you know, because I worry. I like the fact that people are coming into our country, but I pray that they stay. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, occupancy. do we, in terms of, but I'm sure that these are targeted at people from outside. Because I doubt that we within this country patronize. Patronize exactly. But I really want them to stay. You know, like you walk around there and you feel, this is our country. It's looking nice. We've got all these. There's Ibis. There's a Holiday Inn. Now there's Marriott.
There's all these,
and it's really cool.
It's beautiful. We have Kempinski, and when Isaac Dogbe was fighting, you had Kempinski. You know, it's a major brand.
Oh, so he had kind of sponsored him or something?
Yeah, kind of. And and I was thinking, is it Kempinski? It cannot be Accra one, but even there could be the link.
Oh, but
through Accra, you could get some huge sponsorship from the U.S. U.S. franchise.
So so we welcome.
The head office is always in the U.S.
We welcome all these international groups. We pray that you stay.
And we pray that they stay. They have good business too. Because the point is, if they don't have business, then it becomes difficult for the shareholders to keep the hotel running.
Because managing and maintaining a hotel is daunting. Yeah,
especially when we have tariffs that are high for electricity, and when guests come, they'll make use of your amenities very, very well.
Yeah, too, so and sometimes we know power goes low. You cannot afford, even with our hospitals. With our major hospitals, they've got generators running on the side of electricity because you know you never know, it cannot power some of your equipment. You never know. Okay, so we wish them well. That's what we can say. IMF approves $191 million for Ghana after reviews and the bailout program. Roland will say, Charlie, some big movie can make this within a weekend, like 3 days.
Oh, this one, some Swansea players. I'm not lying.
Bahamas experience enough to cancel.
But even this
191
is a low budget movie that will get this one. The one 600 something the high budget movie.
This is the back and forth with former President Mahama criticizing this current administration on the fight against galamsey. That would also be in the news for a while. So let's move on. PIPs charged to reinvestigate compensate victim of car thefts. Rola, let me tell you this, because I sat in and did news desk yesterday, and I was amazed. So Manasseh Azaria winning, our colleague's been following the story for about 3 months. And the story is that, so a guy, his name is Samuel Forson, I think I got it right. Some people snatched his vehicle from him back in 2015. And he couldn't see. I mean, he said they appeared like they were wearing like all black. He couldn't see. They beat him up really badly and threw him. This was at the beach. I mean, they threw him in the water. But for some reason he got saved.
He's still alive.
He got saved.
Okay.
He cannot recall exactly what happened, but some people got him to the 37 military hospital, you know, so he survived it. So his vehicle got missing. It went missing. Sakomono police was following up on this story. And then sometime this year, so 2015, fast forward 2018, January thereabouts, he realized, like, he spots his vehicle. He sees it. He recognizes it, and he decides to follow it up. So fast forward, a police officer is using this vehicle that went missing in 2015.
His stolen vehicle?
His vehicle that was stolen.
Wow.
A police officer is using the vehicle. So he follows up to the particular police station, and they confirm that, oh yes, blah, 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 blah is the one using the vehicle. Subsequently, he says, the police officer who was using the vehicle says, oh, he changed the car tip and changed the car tires. Like, this is like a joke, eh? He changed the car tires and stuff like that. So he wants him to reimburse. And then he said he was allegedly, he was being pursued by this man. So he decides to lodge a complaint because PIPS, that's the body that investigates police officers when you think they've misconducted themselves. And they exonerated the guy, and he said, first of all, he said, they didn't even take much from him. They said they would get back to him, and then before he knew, they were done with the investigations, and they had issued their report on it. So kind of like case closed. In the meantime, so this is that's why I said this is like a big joke.
Wow.
The main issue in terms of the attack and the robbery, that has not been solved. You get what I mean? Now, the police say that when they discovered the vehicle from this particular police station, I'm not sure which police station this is, that they sent a voice. They have a way of sending the messages across to the other police stations to say that we found the vehicle. We found the vehicle. But remember that Sakomono police is the police station handling this, but they didn't get any alerts that the vehicle had been found, and that's why they were still using it. So, so many questions, like, it doesn't add up. If you find a missing vehicle as police, do you use it? I mean, do you use it to do your rounds? Like,
these days,
do you?
The issues with some police personnel involved in crime and all that, it could have been there, and some the people who were wearing the thing. I mean, sometimes.
So this is
this one, no privileges committee, right?
This is a summary of the thing.
This one, no privilege. We can talk. This one, because
they're finished with the investigations.
No, I'm talking about.
And speak.
Yeah. I'm talking about
the story, like one big joke.
I'm talking about the way some police personnel sometimes they rent or hide their arms. They are also involved in the armed robbery acts themselves. I don't know. I would not be surprised if the men who accosted the gentleman were also allegedly police people.
It's a shame, eh? It's a shame.
But we should have trust in the police. That's the whole point.
Somebody's vehicle goes missing, yeah? And you find it. You don't know who the vehicle is for, but you assign it to a police officer to use for his daily rounds. Like, how?
Quite surprising. Well, we have to wrap up quickly, but Opuni is suing Yoko again for freezing his account, and then let's go to the other news portals quickly, and then we'll go and do sport. Benedict also is standing by.
Yeah, I was going to say let's kick Benedict out of the show today, but we've got Champions League this
okay, innovate to keep schools running. Education minister to private schools. How can they do that? It's difficult. Yeah, I know. Halifax, Xylophones Halifax gives Weiser 10,000 Ghana cedis to settle court fine.
Well, don't you need 10,000 too?
I think I need to go to
make an appeal.
I think I need to go to Xylophone to get this money to be able to. Can we just sift through? Ignore Mahama is a con man and who tells Ghanaians.
Roland, please, let's sacrifice this. Let me use the rest of the time to do messages because lots of people are watching us and they sent us messages because Benedict is also on our neck. This one says, NPP delegates betray Bugri Nabu in Tamale following his sacrifice for the party. Shame on the betrayal party. Mohammed Hudu Abu from Tamale. Don't be a sour loser. Take it in good strides. You won't be the first person to have lost an election. This one says, Happy May Day to students and staff of Kayoro JHS inside Chiana. I'm Aye Gogu Stephen from Chiana sending this message. This one says, Happy May Day to all Ghanaian workers and my country, Nigerian workers. I am Jude Okwe from Heavy Volta region. There's ability in all disabilities. Yeah, and our guest, Grace, she's the best person to tell us that. Grace, blind at 13, orphaned, but she is an incredible person. She's graduated from the university, now a teacher. She'll share her story with us on the show this morning. This one says, Isaac, Doda and Giraffe, I think you're having some challenges with the connection. So I'm not sure how we can immediately help, but it will be good to get somebody who can work on your box to take care of it for you. This one says, happy May Day to all staff of Gentilpe RC Primary, IB Solar. Somebody sent me a message from Taco about your wife wanting to do this braid, and I'll be happy to share. The person who did my hair is S Nash, and I'm going to throw her number. I don't know how you'll be able to do that because you are in Taco, but let's try. This is her number, 0244 524 151, 0244 524 15. Now, no, what did I say?
It should be 1.
Okay, 0244 524 151. Her name is Auntie Sarah. She's really nice, and she will be happy to do anything for your beautiful wife. So we're going to hold on to, because we've got lots of messages, we're going to hold on to the messages. We're going to do sports, and then we will come back. But we've also got some amazing women in the studio
today.
Roland will love having a conversation with them. We're talking about the many challenges that come with, it's Workers' Day. So we want to talk about work and the challenges that come every day and how, we manage through. So we've got a doctor in the studio. We've got a corporate person coming through in the studio as well. And all of you can join us so we can have a beautiful conversation on the show today.
All right. So